Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to be talking about today is CBDCs. You know, there are certain establishment types that consider me an extreme. I've been accused of being a conspiracy theorist, which I'm not. I've been accused of being a tinfoil hat wearing kook, which I'm not. And that's fine. You know, I expect that. If you threaten powerful interests, you can expect that they will try to discredit you. I guess that's why my original channel was taken down. How many strikes did I get on that channel, right? They punish you for telling the truth, not for being a liar. Right on. The fact is, people are conditioned to accept whatever the authorities tell them. And it's a powerful urge that goes back to evolutionary biology. If you challenge what the authorities say, you become a threat to group cohesiveness and therefore a threat to group survival. I have been warning people for a long time now about the dangers of CBDC that are being rolled out by central banks around the world. In the US, I've heard people call them Biden bucks. I think that's a funny name. And I've said that they could possibly lead to total surveillance state in which the government can track your every purchase, regulate the most minute aspects of your life. Now, CBDCs are programmable. They allow central banks or regulated commercial banks to monitor your purchases. In conjunction with AI, purchases and other uses of money, charitable contributions, political contributions, travel, etc., can create a profile that identifies you as an enemy of the people as described by the government. And that's a scary thing. You know, say you want to because elections are coming up next year, right? Say you want to donate to DeSantis instead of our current president. Guess what? You can be deemed as an enemy. Can't have that. That's ridiculous. You know? So CBDCs can be used to freeze your account, require you to spend money at the risk of confiscation in the form of a fiscal penalty, or to impose withholding tax on professionals and independent contractors who are not currently subject to withholding. So these CBDCs could also be made to stop working at the gas pump once you've reached a certain amount of gas in a week. So if you have a gas guzzler, say you drive a Dodge. Everybody knows those things are gas guzzlers, right? And they put a cap on how much gas you're allowed to buy in a week. And you're driving a Dodge. All right? Guess what? You're shite out of luck because you've bought too much gas this week. Sorry. All right? You should have bought a Kia. They're more efficient when it comes to gas, you know? So, or you could be banned from buying steak at the grocery store if you've exceeded your weekly quota of meat consumption. Guess you'll be buying lentils to to make your, you know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous, but this is true. Okay, this is not a joke. I mean, I know that I'm laughing, but it's only because I'm trying to make light of a situation that's really bad. Okay, so if you wanted to make hamburger helper, you can't go out buy ground meat. Guess what? You can use lentils. Okay, so an ad might pop up on your phone suggesting you try the latest meatless meat alternative. Like I said, lentils or plant-based. Okay. So how's that for control? Right on? So these CBDCs can also allow the creation of a segregated society based on wealth. How scary is that? So because you don't make as much as the next guy, you can't live in your house no more. You got to go somewhere else. That's scary. You know what I mean? So if you're in a higher income bracket, for example, okay, and you might have to pay more for the products you buy than someone in a lower income bracket. What? So because say Jack makes $75,000 a year, okay, but John only makes $45,000 a year. Jack, guess what? You got to pay $20 more for a product than John, because you make $75,000 a year and he only makes $45,000 a year. Okay, this is how these people think when they made this crap. So, I just want you to sit and think, because even if you get some politician that says, I'm not going to allow CBDC in Florida, like how, no hate, I'm not spreading hate, so hush up, trolls. Like DeSantis said, guess what? He did allow it. All he did was give it a different name. Okay? So, hey, can you afford to pay $10 for a gallon of milk while the other guy can't? Okay? Why should you have to pay the same price? I mean, listen, this goes so much deeper than anybody actually thought. Okay, I've just been researching the hell out of this. And, I've been doing this for years. I've been reading about this for years. This is the scariest thing I've ever... You just don't know, okay? I mean, and this can apply to any product out there. It doesn't matter if it's a gallon of milk or a new iPhone, all right? It doesn't matter if it's a car or a house. You're going to pay more because you make more. Remember out in California with the electric bills? People who make more are paying more because they make more. How fair is that? It's not. But this is all part of it. If the government decides you have too much money, it could reduce the amount of interest you receive on your money in the bank. You have cash back on your checking account? I do. Okay? Same thing. This is the kind of world that CBDC opens up. I want you to be ready. I want you to keep all this information in the back of your brain. So when it starts to happen, you're going to be like, son of a bitch, she was right. Okay? The bottom line is CBDC would create massive opportunities for social control that the worst tyrants in history would have envied. And that's why these global elites are so enamored of them. And it explains why they're pursuing them so aggressively. Even if nations just change their constitutions to accommodate them. Now, here's an here's an excerpt, okay, from a recent Bank for International Settlements. It's a report which it produced a conjunction with 7 leading central banks, including the Fed. Okay, legislation may need to be enacted to or adjusted to specifically authorize the issuance and distribution of a retail CBDC. Changes to the central bank charter, statutes, legislation, and other areas related to payments or the Constitution itself. Now, of course, mainstream, MSM, they've tried to discredit everybody who talks about this. I don't know what they're talking about. Really? Are you a financial banker? Are you a planner? Have you been seriously doing your research? Well, guess what? My best friend is an international banker. Okay, she knows her shite. She knows what she's drilled this stuff in my head for 3 years. I know what the hell I'm talking about. All I have to do is call her up and say, hey, Trish, what's going on? She'll tell me. All right. So, but This is something that really, you guys really need to know about. Okay, I want you to do your own research. Okay, I really do. I want you to do your own research. I want you to really sit down, and I want you to remember that if you make more money than your next door neighbor or your cousin or your sister, your brother, whatever, just remember you're going to be paying a hell of a lot more for that gallon of milk than they are. So here in the US, it can include issues such as gun control, election integrity, or if you support the wrong political candidates. Like I said, if you want to make a contribution to DeSantis instead of Biden, which this shouldn't hold water, but it does, unfortunately. It could put a target on your back, and that sucks. You should like who you want to like, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? But as far as globalists are concerned, everyday people cannot be trusted to make the right decisions on these fundamental issues. They also can't be trusted to vote for the proper political candidates. But you're going to vote for who you want to vote for, and I'll never pass judgment on you. You know what I mean? You're going to do what you want to do because you feel that it's the right fit for you, Such decisions should be placed beyond control of either party to the greatest extent possible. And that's what globalists believe. The moral arc of the universe bends in one direction, and this is to the globalists. And that's toward increasing globalization. Populism and protectionism are therefore moral evils that must be condemned. Freezing their enemies out of banking and financial systems is a powerful tool that elites can use to punish their enemies and deter dissent. And when CBDCs, when they arise, it will be easier than ever. So I want you to get ready, because this is some scary stuff, okay? This is not something to say F. It's not going to happen. It's already happening, okay? All right, guys, I will see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fear less. Ciao.